The Wrestling Mayhem Show recommends highspots.com for all of your wrestling needs. Whether you're a wrestling fan, worker, or promoter, looking for figures, DVDs, or equipment, Highspots has what you're looking for.
Hi, I'm the rock and roll outlaw of the Wrestling Mayhem Show, and when I decide I want to plug my guitar in, turn my amp up to 11, and have an impromptu rock concert for an audience of wrestling figures, I make sure to get them from highspots.com.
Click the link for Highspots on WrestlingMayhemShow.com to support the show when you want to purchase anything wrestling related. Highspots has what you're looking for.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Anderson.
Wrestling Mayhem Show
.com. It's the best day of the week. Today is the day that you have chosen to listen to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. This is DJ Lunchbox, putting it the fuck down for you. Let's fucking do this. Monday night, you know it must be raw. Leaders being a whore and not wearing a bra. Seen his damn belt still spinning around his waist. I can shit better rhymes on what comes out of his face. Tuesday night and it's EC Dub. Michael Q Knoxville join the club. If you're sick of the shit, scream out boo boo. This ain't EC Dub and we can tell that too. Wednesday night, ROH on DVD, the best wrestling on the planet to the nth degree. Joe Damon's Delirious, Daniel City, Kid McCarthy, Homicide, the Rottweilers, and Kenta Kobashi. Thursday night, TNA on Spike. Bruce's spoken, so that means I'm puking blood tonight. Shut up and show me the damn X to the vision and get SoCal balance in my line of vision. Friday night SmackDown, this is all life. Kicking back, watching wrestling every night. Kennedy, Boogeyman, Helms, Hardy, Guerrero, London, Kendrick, and stealing the show. RWF Scion in the weekly features. You're a student, we are the teachers. Shout outs to Jimbo's crew and to the D's, putting it down for Vim with the greatest of ease.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. It's Tuesday night.
Yes.
It is March 23rd, Wrestling Mayhem Show, 211. Lunchbox right there over my shoulder.
Bam, what's up, y'all?
That's all he got. He got a hat. I got a hat.
We're
rocking the hat.
Here on the
It's Hat Week on the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Sexy Hat Week.
One guy didn't bring a hat, but that's okay because he's got the couch. He is the prophet of profit. Chris Maverick, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Let's turn your mic on. I think you're working.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yep, there it is.
All right, there
Okay,
he is.
you go.
There he is.
I'm doing good, I guess. now that you can hear me.
There it is.
Yes, the second guest since we've gone all digital, all technical, all multi-camera angled. So
All sexified.
Sexified Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was looking for the other camera.
Well, you know. So we're gonna have fun here. We're gonna be talking to Chris about what's coming up lately for him, his time in wrestling, and just have fun with it tonight. And I might be switching up his mic because this sounded really funky over there.
It sounded a little funky.
All right, we'll work on that.
A little funky, not funky.
I'll find where I put that other microphone and we'll get that going. But of course, this is Wrestling Mayhem Show. It's been a good week, lots of wrestling. I think I actually watched every minute of wrestling that was on, except for WrestleLicious. I'm on a good run right now, leading up to WrestleMania. So we'll be talking about all of that. But first, wrong angle. First, I want to mention, of course, if you haven't yet, if you have an iPhone, go check out our iPhone app. It's only $1.99 on the App Store. We have some fun stuff up there. Do you have yours out? We're doing to show it.
Are we going to show it?
We're doing to show it like we usually do every week.
Hold on.
Hold on. It's whip it out time on the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Right there.
Oh, there it is.
Check that out.
There it is.
And there's Best Around from our interview last week. And there's I'm sure this video includes us singing that song in the background.
Better.
Yeah.
What do you want better?
So there's looks like we didn't put your screen up on that one. So go check that out.
I saved the wallpaper. You can get wallpapers for your Apple products. You can get it from us, the Wrestling Mayhem Show,
That's
the finest maker of all wallpapers for all Apple products.
Also, go over there and go over on WrestlingMayhemShow.com and click the link for the Mayhem where we got a brand new T-shirt by popular demand of one, the Doc Remedy face shirt. that you kind of have to see to believe, and one has been sold already. Believe me. And we were promised a picture when it comes in. So stay tuned for that. And also, of course, Mad Mike is still looking for people for the Fantasy Baseball League. I don't think it's closed yet. There's a picture. Okay, never mind. Something in the chat room. But if you go over to the Yahoo Fantasy Baseball League ID number 289858, password Mayhem. So go join that up. I know I am losing horribly in the Mayhem Show brackets for March Madness. So I think Sean Burkhead is in first place right now. But a lot of it could change. So, Lunchbox, do you want to get into the fan mail?
Let's get right into it. Sorg.
All right. Get right into it.
Never feels it. Makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to will.
All right. We got one or two really special emails, and there's some other sounders. Oops.
That's not the right.
No, that's not the right one at all.
That's for something else. We got a couple here. Mm-hmm. There's only really two.
Okay.
We actually, I mean it as literally as possible.
Yeah, we did get a lot more. I actually got about 20 minutes worth of voicemails. Some of it is used in various spots in the show. Thank you, Mad Mike, for hooking us up with the Mr. Anderson spot at the beginning. That is Mr. Anderson from the show up there in Poughkeepsie, New York. And Big Freaky is just, he's got a lot of thoughts that can't be contained on this show. But we're going to be working on that with him. So, but what we got in the fan mail there? I know one just came in.
Oh, did it? Well, which one do you want to read? The which one do you want to read?
I'll do the super special one.
This okay. All right, you got it. Good evening, WMS Peps. A short TNA. Oh, this is from Sean Burkhead, by the way. A short TNA report this week. I feel sorry for anyone that bought this past Sunday's pay-per-view. The main event had to be the worst finish in TNA history. Impact last night was quite good. The main event was awesome. Hopefully TNA won't drop the ball again, but it is TNA after all. They finally managed to do something right. They promoted their main event for next week. Question of the week, who would you toss into the bottomless pit? That was the TNA ring from their pay-per-view. I vote Hogan and Bischoff. Until next week, fuck you, Kansas, for destroying my brackets. Yeah. I'm Sean, and I'm out.
Yeah, I'm pretty devastated too. For those that missed at the end of Destination X was a chokeslam by Abyss through the ring with the power of Abyssomania, and then a comedy act ensued with Ric Flair and Desmond Wolfe as they all disappeared, and that's how we ended it.
Good. We should take down with the wrestlers like Desmond Wolfe and Ric Flair and put them in comedy acts.
As pretty much it turned into like a Keystone Cop routine.
Goddamn idea ever.
Yeah, basically you could have turned the thing off after the Ultimate X match, I think. So.
Oh, fuck TNA and its stupid asshole.
So who would you throw down the bottomless pit, sir?
There's just too many. It would just fill up. I think it's easy up with hatred.
I thought, Bubba the Love Sponge for messing with your girl, Awesome Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Which we'll get a little bit of that later.
We certainly will. I don't even have the words. I don't even have the words. Just fuck TNA. Fuck it.
So, Mav, who would you throw down the bottomless pit?
I have to pick somebody from TNA, huh?
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on a second.
Turn on his microphone.
His microphone's on. We'll have to toss him the other one. Lunchbox stall.
I mean, seriously, TNA. I mean, what is the matter with you? How hard is it for you to not be WCW again? Again! You brought back the fucking Wolfpack! You are asking for it. You're asking for it. You're asking for it. I swear, if I could. I just had my design. Jesus Christ.
Should have put it on him.
How stupid do you have to be? How fucking stupid do you have to be to do this again? I mean, we used to say, oh yeah, TNA's WCW again, and it was, but slightly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
They're so blatantly WCW now. It's disgusting. Yeah, let's bring in everybody that fucked up WCW in the first place.
See, I think you're looking at it the wrong way. I think the old TNA wasn't WCW. It was WCW Thunder. See, now you've moved up to WCW Nitro.
Good. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
It's a totally different show.
Although I think we do have a little bit of a distinction because I mean after Flair showing up in a wheelchair, I do feel like it is Thunder again. Did you see him Monday night?
No.
I mean, granted, you're probably watching the better show, but he's in a chair getting wheeled out, ranting. Again, I think it turned into a little bit of a comedy act with him at the end of the show. Flair, dude. He came out and talked for probably like 3 minutes. I'm not sure if he said anything because he was yelling at the fans more than anything. If he was setting up for a match, if I don't know what he was trying to do,
Has he wrestled yet since he's been there? As far as I know, he's just managing AJ, right?
Well, no, they had the tag match with him and Hogan, teamed up with AJ and Abyss, the first live show.
Okay.
When they, officially went Monday night a few weeks ago.
Okay, yeah. See, I saw their first show, with Hogan in charge, and I've seen a couple other shows, but I've not seen them since they've been on up against Raw.
And that's been one of the discussions. Is like, okay, he came back for this to wrestle in front of 1,000 fans in front of the Impact Zone, with a 0.9 rating. So, I mean, and it was he started bleeding during his opening promo last week.
Fuck him.
Wow.
Fuck TNA. Fuck it.
Well, Flair always bled good.
Yeah, but he's talking. I mean,
he can do it at will now.
Apparently, when he gets to that, and you see his face turn red, he can literally pop a blood vessel in his forehead at will. I mean, again, I was looking away. I'm trying to do the dual watch. I'm watching Undertaker talk about something or something. I look down, and Flair's bleeding. There's nobody else in the ring but AJ. So I'm like, what the fuck happened down here?
Fuck TNA.
That's true intensity right there. If you're that intense, you can bleed on demand.
I mean, I give him a lot of credit, but holy crap. I don't know.
I missed the six-sided ring.
Me too. Me too. I'm sitting there at the live show a couple weeks ago when they came to town, and I'm like, I kind of wish I would have been able to see the six-sided ring in person because
it's funny. So I remember, I guess it's been like 7 years now since TNA started.
Mm-hmm.
What year was it? Yeah, it's like 2003, wasn't it? And when they brought that in,
2002.
So it's been 8 years. 7.5. I remember thinking two things about TNA. First off, okay, a pay-per-view only wrestling company will never work. This is the stupidest idea ever. And they fixed that. And I remember thinking, six-sided ring, what a stupid gimmick. And I'll never forget, Mike Tenay being on every week, just explaining how much better the six-sided ring was because the six-sided ring provides you with 8 additional points of impact. And I, I've been a wrestling fan all my life. I've been involved for the last several years, and I'm sitting there watching TV going, what? and I thought this is the stupidest idea of all time. I like the six-sided ring. It grew on me. It was something different, and particularly the Ultimate X match, I think, was born for the six-sided ring. And now, if you do an Ultimate X match in a four-sided ring, well, that's just, that's a something on a pole match that every promotion in the country can do. It's just not special anymore. And you made a good point. I grew up watching wrestling in the 80s. I'm a huge old school wrestling fan, but I don't necessarily need to see the same people I grew up watching in the same storylines 20 years later.
Mm-hmm. It worked the first time around when I turned on wrestling after 3 years of not watching and saw Scott Hall and was like, oh, okay, what's going on here, and seeing Hulk Hogan and seeing the guys that, I loved when I watched WrestleMania 9, the last thing, but I don't think they can do that again. And And the funny part is, it is those same wrestlers that were there at WrestleMania 9 that we're reusing again, and they're a little worse for wear this time.
Wrestling ability.
Well, no, don't get me wrong. I actually kind of like having the old guys around. I sort of wish the Fed, the WWE, would do it more often. Mm-hmm. It is neat for me to see AJ Styles in the same ring with Ric Flair. That's cool. Those are two of my favorites, throughout history. But if I have a problem, it's that there's almost not enough overlap. I'm watching an NWO storyline from 2001.
Yeah.
And 1999 really. And then I'm watching, and it's not, at least when Vince brought the NWO in his abysmally failed attempt to revive the NWO, at least when he did that, he sort of mixed it up. It was like, well, let's toss Booker T in here. Let's play off the Generation X thing. Let's do, and it was something different. The NWO was really exciting 10 years ago because, hey, look, Scott Hall, Sean Waltman and Kevin Nash just jumped ship and they're in this other company and, they're doing, wow, this is crazy. Now it's, okay, these guys are, there's no bitterness. Like the idea behind, the outsiders being really, really pissed about having to leave the WWF 10 years ago. Now it's like, that was 10 years ago. Why are you guys still bitter?
Yeah,
right. It's nothing new. They're not doing anything new.
Yeah, they're reusing it, and it's just like, really all that just to screw over Eric Young at a pay-per-view? Like, that just seemed like too much run around with that.
And if you're going to reuse it, where's Beefcake? If you're going to bring out old guys, I'd rather see Beefcake over the Nasty Boys any day. Just saying.
Yes, and but which Beefcake do you want? I mean, do you want Bruce Beefcake? Do you want the Disciple?
No. I want Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I want
no Booty Man.
No Booty Man. I want Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I want him to be carrying scissors around. I want him to have shredded, Marty Jannetty gear. And sitting there, the little bow tie that he wears around his neck when even when he's
That's
in
so
his tights.
Non-functional.
Yeah. It was brilliant. That's what I'm looking for. Old school Brutus.
Mad Mike's in the chat, and he's saying he would love it if Flair just managed him. I think a lot of people were just kind of ruined by how involved he's become.
Just managed to AJ?
Yeah. Like, personally, I love what they've done with AJ. Like, I don't think he really needed to go heel again, to be honest, because I don't think it's his best stuff. But I do love the Flair hooded robe thing he's got going on now. Like, okay, that works for me,
Everybody gets hoods in TNA.
Everybody gets hoods. I mean, Matt Morgan's got a pretty good hood cape thing going on. But Flair just is it's like Flair's got no leash on him, and he's gonna start like elbow dropping books again and bleeding all over him now, apparently.
I loved when he elbow dropped books though. That was awesome.
That was pretty sweet. But it's, I don't know. It just seems like they go a little too far with him. I don't understand why he needed to be out there in a wheelchair ranting about God knows what. And why is Desmond Wolfe with them? That doesn't make any sense either. But we got one more fan mail. It's actually a pretty long one, so I want to get to it. From an old friend from England. It's the Vim mail. So he's hit us up on Facebook. Dear Mr. Sorg, I hope that this email finds you and your crew as well as your current health system allows you to be. Now that you have made a more sensible healthcare system choice, only good thing is lay in store for only good things lay in store for your future self. Yes, help me proofread this. Not that we're getting into the politics here. I've had enough of it on Facebook.
I agree. I second that.
Did you see when I made one comment and I ended up in a discussion with my ex-girlfriend from high school and another friend from Russia?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I starred your one comment on Twitter though. It's like my tiny lizard brain doesn't understand.
I thought this was primarily a political show. Is this on CNN?
No, only when Chuck Roberts is on here.
Oh.
Oh, Chuck.
I gotta go then. I just came here to discuss healthcare reform.
We can call him up, a special edition Political Mayhem Show. That'd be awesome. Anyway.
I'll totally do that. I'll come back for that.
Only if we can do it in the style of this show would it be all right. We'll get Hutch in here, make sure he doesn't have any guns on him.
Oh, God.
A side note, he was talking about how he packed up the portable studio, just like you saw, before from Iraq. And I'm like, did you pack the guns with it? That showed up on that. Remember when that showed up on the slide of PodCamp? And I'm like, what the hell? I just wasn't on the preview I saw of this,
that was
of
a
this
surprise
session.
to all of us.
That was, yeah. Anyways, back to Vim. I myself am well, coming to the end of my gynecology job. Go Vim. Honestly,
gynecology.
Honestly, no good. Things. I'm sorry, small text, guys. Things I've seen keep me awake at night. You'll never be able to go close to a vagina again. You guys have done so amazingly well. I saw this potential in you years ago and nailed my colors to the mast. Only massive congratulations. But on to wrestling. There we go. The card for now he's not using big words since we're in wrestling. I'll be good. The card for WrestleMania is awesome, and the build has been unexpectedly good. I agree. The big surprise has been how the Cena Batista build has been. It was a throwaway match at SummerSlam a while ago, but they got a big entry angle out of it. Promos have been great, and it's a match I really want to see. I agree with that. I've been really impressed with the kind of, up until this week, it's just felt like a kind of old school build, but done really, really well with these guys. I don't expect much out of the match, granted, but the stuff they've been doing with it has just been fantastic. But Taker HBK will be great, but I think there might be a screw finish. Taker's streak should continue, but HBK is continuing to be advertised after Mania. But what does this really mean? I think that there will be a screw finish from Vince after he's beaten by Brett and is bitter at Michaels for talking him into allowing Brett back. But who knows? I can't see HBK retiring quite yet, and the streak should never end. Vince Brett went a bit wrong in the build, but picked up massively with a fake injury angle. Very good. Ends with Vince in the sharpshooter. Wish Stone Cold was the enforcer, as I think Kozlov will be interfering. I had a thought, because if you did, many of you I'm sure didn't catch TNA last night, but Mick Flair. I was gonna say
I don't know Mick Flair.
I was gonna say McFlurry, because I was talking Penguins earlier. But he got fired last night in a I Quit match or something with Jarrett. So I was like, maybe he'll come over. You never know. Maybe he's going to be a surprise at Mania. So
I doubt it.
Never know. Money in the Bank will be won by McIntyre, who will try and win the world title from Edge after he beats Jericho, because we guess this every year, guys. With this being the last Money in the Bank match at Mania, they have to at least one occurrence of the winner cashing in at Mania. Plus, this way there is room for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view that is upcoming. Punk and Ray will almost steal a show, and Sheamus will lose in a controversial fashion to Triple H, and the woman will have some kind of match. Yeah, I'd plow Gail Kim for days.
Wait, Sorg, is that you saying
no,
that?
No, he said it. And that's also in there.
Good to know.
There you go. The whole TNA things. Bring it together.
I'm good.
All right. The whole TNA thing sucks ass. Jeff Hardy will serve a short sentence. RVD will leave real soon, and they will go back to Thursdays within a year with the same rating they ever had. Oh, and I've heard that the Nasty Boys is likely to have a terrible heart attack on air. Hogan and Flair, I just shake my head and sigh. Here, the correct side of the Atlantic, TNA remains on a Saturday morning, which makes a mockery of the Monday Night Wars. Back in the day, Nitro and Raw were...
the correct side of the Atlantic.
Yeah. Back in the day, Nitro and Raw were both shown at the same time on a Friday night. That worked. This is just silly. TNA is silly. So, with these comments, my message to you ends after my questions. Saturday morning, considering we spoke of it as a cartoon, Sometimes that's
accurate.
rather fitting. Yeah. All right. Question 1: who do you think will be headlining next year's Mania?
Next year's Mania.
Next year's Mania. Like, who do you think's going to come up? You think, or
Well, considering it's Edge and Jericho, I'm sure it's going to be back to business as usual, and I predict a three-way match between John Cena, Randy Orton, and Shawn Michaels.
really? Have we kind of had that?
Yeah.
Business as usual. I got you. I don't know. I think we might be going back to actually get kind of a surprise Royal Rumble, like actually bringing somebody up at the Rumble. Maybe
I do like surprise Rumbles.
And just because
I like it when I can be surprised by the Rumble, Wrestle fan. I am still fucking sour about that, Wrestle fan. Speaking of fucking sour, how's your mom, Wrestle fan?
Riz was on earlier saying he lost count of how many times we had a how about your mom last week with him. Mav, what do you think? Who do you think will be headlining there?
Mania next year. See, that's hard. All right. I mean,
who's going to get injured? Who's going to fail a drug test? I mean,
so I got to go. So I have to account for injuries, people being promoted to the main event, and people firing people being hired over from TNA. I think you can assume that John Cena is not going anywhere. Assuming you're gonna keep the tradition of the last 10 years of having a double main event, I gotta believe Cena's gonna be there. I gotta believe Hunter's gonna be there. So in some fashion, the two of them are gonna be involved. And if you're gonna have John Cena and Triple H on a show, why not have it be the main event? Yeah. I think the Undertaker will still be around, win or lose this week. I don't think he's going anywhere. So I think you keep him around and you probably put him in something. I personally think he's going to beat Michaels. So I think the streak continues, and if there's a streak, the streak's got to be one of those headline matches. I think that you're going to see Undertaker against somebody yet to be named. It could be anybody as one match. It could be, who would have thought last year that Sheamus was going to be a headliner? Nobody, because nobody had heard of him. So I think you can move over and you can put Undertaker against any number of people. It could be, and I think you could, on the Raw side, you're probably going to be dealing with, barring injuries, some sort of, I think the heavyweight title scene's pretty set. With you got Cena, you got Orton, you got Triple H, maybe Batista. It's also hard with to predict a year out, because sooner or later they're going to do like yet another roster shift.
Mm-hmm. Real quick for his next. Quick from the chat room. Mad Mike was saying Miz versus Cena. He says, I can see Jericho or Miz winning the Rumble next year. The Jericho, they'll just kind of stick him with the belt whenever, and it's okay. It's Jericho. He's Jericho. You're like, I'll run with the belt for a while, and it'll be awesome. And you didn't see it coming. There you go. Real quick, this year, you have new stars in Sheamus, McIntyre, Rhodes, and DiBiase. Who do you think will be the first to headline Mania out of that? Out of that, DiBiase. Easy.
Who are the choices again?
McIntyre, Sheamus, Rhodes, and DiBiase.
DiBiase.
He's kind of the easiest one. Also, Morrison, Kofi, Punk, and MVP all seem to have faded. Which in your eyes is the biggest disappointment? Now, I disagree that Punk's really faded. I think Kofi's kind of in a holding pattern to be brought up here in a little bit. Same with Morrison.
Didn't Punk have a title shot like 2 months ago?
Yeah, Punk's doing fine. MVP, I think, out of those biggest disappointment, because he's the only one I see that has really kind of gone nowhere. He's tagged up with Mark Henry, jobbing to whoever has the tag belts lately. I
think Kofi's gonna. I really do think Kofi's gonna take that Money in the Bank.
Kofi's too good. Kofi is too good for them to shit on him for that. Same with Morrison. And same with all three of those guys. I
don't think you can call any of them a disappointment. I mean, okay, Punk's. I mean, yes, he's not headlining Mania, but there's only so many spots in the, they have 2 main events. There's
exactly.
only so many spots that you can use that for.
And look at all the people that didn't make it on the show.
Right.
Gauge that.
Right. So I think Punk's doing okay. I don't think you've seen the last title shot CM Punk's ever going to get. I don't think you've seen the last title reign CM Punk's ever going to get. I don't think you can call Kofi a disappointment yet. Kofi's on his way up, if anything. MVP, he was going up and he's been in a holding pattern, but I don't know that he's there all the time, and it's kind of weird because for a while I thought that tag team with Mark Henry was over. They sort of went on they sort of both went on a singles run for a moment, and then all of a sudden they were a tag team again. And now we just saw Mark Henry doing whatever he was doing, 2 weeks ago, where working for Vince. So who knows with MVP, and who was the other person they said?
Oh, who did Morrison?
Morrison,
I think
is
put out a DVD.
Yeah, and I think Morrison's the same place as Kofi. I mean, if you're, I don't know that I want to say it's a disappointment. If somebody has been like Punk is the best example. If Punk had been, had been a main eventer, which he was about a year ago. Yeah, I mean, he was world heavyweight champion, and then if all of a sudden he was, he was doing, curtain jerk matches, that would be different. But that's not what he's doing. I think he's still in the title picture. It's very full right now. Edge just came back.
I think Punk is one of those guys where he's really good. He can't deny his talent, but he doesn't fit the champion mold. So he's going to be in and out of it. Jericho kind of is that, but he's so good that they know they can toss it to him.
I think I think Punk is gonna. I mean, you're gonna see him like Jericho. I mean, he's gonna. He'll be at the top. And every once in a while, you'll fall down the card.
And make somebody look like $1 million.
Every once in a while, he'll fall down the card, and then he'll be back up there again. I mean, Jericho retired for 4 years. And can you call him a disappointment? He's come back. This
is like the 3rd time he's had the belt since he came back.
Right.
So, real quick, who's the hottest diva?
Diva?
Yes.
Just strictly diva?
Just strictly diva.
We have to stick with WWE.
I think so.
I have to go and look at which divas they have because I was literally looking at pictures of SoCal Val.
You know what? Don't bother because wrong. It is clearly Gail Kim. Why did they get rid of Maria? Anyways, keep it together, boys. Remember, not as often as I used to, but be remembered that I am listening. Them. So that is our fan mail, and we filled it up with that one. Let me make sure nothing slipped in here real quick.
Hold on, there's a terrible thing on.
It's a terrible thing.
There's a video.
Oh, we're good. So DJ Lunchbox, tell me what are we listening to this week? It's something strangely familiar. Something strangely familiar.
I wasn't prepared. I was looking at divas
by somebody called. No, that's not the name of the group. There.
Just hold on with your face. Phil.
All right, I got.
Fill it with silence.
I'll fill it with this because this is just a great picture. I was going to bring it up later, but that's an awesome picture right there. For those on the audio, Linda McMahon pulling the hair out of Vince McMahon. That's just fantastic. So, was that enough time for you?
That was fine.
Unfortunately, you're better at that than I am.
Peaches, we're aces here. Okay, folks. I'm about to break your heart. Okay? The music this week, both songs are from a band called Theodora. Thee space Adora. Now, here's the thing about Theodora. They are wildly talented people. A great lineup of musicians, many of which I have very fortunately enough in recent months people who I can call acquaintances and friends. Fantastic band, Theodora, and this song is probably one of my favorite songs in the world right now. It's called the Bath Song, and I absolutely love it. Now, as far as who's in the group and links to what they're doing, we're gonna get to that a little bit later. But the reason this is gonna break your heart is I know you're gonna love this song. You are gonna go bonkers over this song. but the band no longer exists. Theodora broke up. Well, I shouldn't say broke up. They took a break. And many of them are pursuing solo projects, which, again, I'll get into those a little bit later. But first, I want you to listen to this song and enjoy it. You can find them at myspace.com/Theodora. And they got 3 songs up there, and they're all fantastic. But this one is called The Bath Song. And you enjoy it. Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Arms hover over, but there's nothing there to hold. My heart rate slows, my body cools. It's time to go. With no noise, it's so much clearer. Without a sound, I have no doubt. So I spoke out and broke the mirror. Cut my heart when I fell down, so I can't fall down, so I can't fall down. No, I can't fall down, so I can't fall down. Nothing left but 40 days in the way. Sleep awake day after day, it feeds my brain. Arms hover over, but there's nothing there to hold. Together I can't hold myself together. Everything is showing reason, but reason I don't see. Used up my store in one dark season, sway back and forth and now to see. So I can't drown now, so I can't drown now, so I can't drown now, so I can't
Hey guys, it's Mad Mike here once again with your final top 10 list before WrestleMania this Sunday. And this one's a good one. It's the top 10 celebrities at WrestleMania. Number 10, Whiplash himself, Mickey Rourke, showing up at last year's WrestleMania and knocking Chris Jericho the hell out. Probably would have been better if he actually had a match with Jericho, but what are you going to do? Number 9, Ice-T, rapping The Godfather and D'Lo Brown to the ring for WrestleMania 2000. Real fun song and a good way to get the crowd going. Number 8, Floyd Money Mayweather in his match with the Big Show, where he used a giant set of brass knuckles to knock the big man out. Number 7, Morton Downey Jr. The only fight for Smith to take place in India ended in a very funny anti-smoking ad. Number 6, the Donald Trump. Before his hair-cutting incident with McMahon, he was also at WrestleManias 4, 5, and one of my personal favorites, 20. Number 5, this year's Hall of Fame inductee, Bob Uecker. I bet he's still looking for Vanna. Number 4, Mr. T, pitying fools since 1983. Number 3, Mike Tyson. The shot that Shawn Michaels heard around the world, and he helped launch the Attitude Era. Number 2, Lawrence Taylor. Say what you will about WrestleMania 11, but the fact that LT actually had a decent match with Bigelow really was a highlight. And number 1, of course, is Pete Goddamn Rose, getting the tombstone, the choke slam, the stink face, and dressing like the San Diego Chicken. You can't really beat that. Alright guys, this has been my top 10 list this week, and just some of the things that have been swirling around my brain.
This is Chess Flexor, and you're listening to the Wrestling Mayhem Show / the Chess Flexor Experience.
Are you hitting on me?
No, I'm just curious.
It's the men of the Wrestling Mayhem Show at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
What's up, guys? We're back. Wrestling. Fuck you, man. Wrestling Mayhem Show 211. Fuck it. We're going with it. No more takes. Because we're live. We're raw. We can only put so much on the WMS Gold. There's bandwidth limits on those phones, damn it. But yes, it is Wrestling Mayhem Show 211. And we're back here. Good long song by The Adore. And of course, Mad Mike with his top 10.
We are amazing.
Okay. We're here, of course, with our guest.
It's true.
With our guest this evening, Chris Maverick. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Holy shit. You are a man of many talents. Let's just get right into it. Yeah. The profit of profit, and you're finding that somehow.
Tens if not 20s of dollars.
Tens of 20s of dollars. we were talking about the mad cash on the break. But you tell everybody what all you're into. I don't even know if I know everything that you have your fingers in.
Everything that I'm into.
Speaking of things that Mav has
midget porn. No, wait, no. You mean professionally? Sorry. No, actually. Let's see. I guess if you're listening to this show, you probably know I'm kind of a wrestler.
Sort of a wrestler.
Kind of, sort of. I've been doing that for like 6 years. And people who are listening, who are fans of mine, know I'm a photographer and I write a little comic strip. And, if someone wants to send me some midget porn, they're welcome to, but they don't have to. I'm just saying
that is always open, of course. Yeah. And if you want, we'll definitely forward to Mav right there at good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. That's the wrong address. That's the Twitter, but you can also tweet us some too. There you go.
Midget porn at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
That actually, funny enough, that will get us email if you send that to midgetporn at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Yeah,
really?
I actually have a shirt that I didn't wear today. I have a shirt that says "Watch midget porn. It makes you look huge." Should have worn that.
I like that.
Awesome. It reminds me of that new Death at a Funeral movie. It's like, are you mad because Dad had a male lover, or that he was a midget?
Yeah.
Which that movie looks amazing, by the way.
By the way, for anyone who's listening, I'm not actually into midget porn. Please don't spam me.
We didn't say we're not. So,
I like good old natural porn.
Well, first let's talk to you. Let's bridge the gap between our shows because we've had comics on before. That's not a big deal. But you're IWC wrestler, manager, and everything. How'd you get into that?
How did I get into that? Okay, that's actually really easy. I've been a wrestling fan since I was, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old. I used to watch with my grandfather. Much like it's the same story you'll hear from every wrestling fan. And I got to be, I don't know. I think I was 29 years old, 28 or 29 years old. 6 years ago, so I was 29. And I had actually just been laid off at the job I was working, and I was doing some temp work, some random jobs on the side, contract work, and I saw an ad placed by Shirley Doe that said, "Hey, have you always wanted to be a wrestler? Come to my school and try out." And I said, "I've always wanted to be a wrestler," and then so I went down and I met Shirley Doe and some other trainers, and they were like, and so they were always like, don't just sign up. This is a lot harder than you'd think. Come down and watch first, and make sure that it's expensive and it's hard, and make sure that you're willing to live with the pain that you're likely to be in if you're going to do this. And I've always been kind of really, really big on doing things that are painful and dumb. My thing is, if I'm looking to go have fun, I see something, and I did karate for years. I did whitewater rafting. In fact, when I first started going whitewater rafting, it was because I saw a story in the news where they were like, "Hey, we're thinking about closing this park because 32 people have died here trying to whitewater raft." And I was like, 32 people, I got to try that. So that's how I got into rafting. And
maybe that can be 33.
Yeah. Hey, one can only hope.
You'll find your fame somehow.
If I was gonna die, I want to be like the 50th. I want to be some even number where they put your name in the paper. Nobody's gonna put number 33 in the paper. Anyway, so I said, wow, that looks painful but it looks really fun, and sure, sign me up. And so I started training with Doe, and I did that for a year or so, and then kind of ended up being kind of a part-time wrestler and part-time manager at IWC, and commentator, and that's how I became a wrestler. I basically saw it, and I thought, I want to try that. I want to have big guys beat me up before I die, and now I have. Yay!
Mission accomplished.
That's right.
So you trained as a wrestler. How did you transition over to? Of course, most people know you as the manager, especially for Shima Zion, Babyface Fire, and everything. How did you transition from the wrestling side to ringside like that?
They're better than me, and they're better than me, and it turns out that you get hurt a little less when you're on the side, and you get a lot of the same glory. Now, I don't know. For me, wrestling was always, I enjoyed it. It was fun, and it was just really cool to go out there. And honestly, I think Shima asked me one day. I think he was like, because we trained together, and he was like, "Hey, you want to be my manager?" And I thought, sure, why not? And we did it for a while, and I think we had pretty good chemistry together. And then since I was working with Shima, when Babyface Fire happened, that sort of just
formerly known as Team Catfish.
Formerly known as Team Catfish, and then it became Babyface Fire, and I was the baby in Babyface Fire. A lot of
yes,
a lot of people don't know the origin of that name. It's
yes.
Babyface Fire, BFF. It's my name is first. Which, yay, but yeah, I was the baby, Gory was the face, and Shima's the Fire.
Yep.
So we were Babyface Fire. I didn't actually like that name, but because it was.
But really, getting the chant from the crowd, BFF, was pretty awesome for a few months there.
Well, yeah, But if you remember, they were chanting BFF and they hated me. I don't know why. A lot of fun to be around. They should have loved
because he cost them every match. I mean,
nobody can prove anything.
Nobody can prove anything. We do have some commentary from the chat room. WrestleFan, we were actually talking about this a little bit before the show here. He says, more of a statement. I recently ordered my first IWC DVDs, and I would like to say one of my personal highlights was your commentary with Joe Dombrowski and Larry Sweeney.
Oh, God. And I would like to go get a pretzel right now. That was great. I should go back and do that some more. I should, talk to Chuck Roberts about coming. I've been so busy lately that I haven't been doing that as much. But commentary was great. I never really thought that was an accident. And I never really thought I'd like it as much as I did. It was just fun to, it's sort of like, one of my favorite parts about wrestling, and especially about managing, was always, the promos. Even, just being able to go out there and just say whatever's on your mind. Particularly since I was, a bad guy. It's because everybody's misguided and they don't know how awesome I am. But since everybody in the crowd hated me, I could just yell at them and tell them, if I was bitter about whatever, I could just, go off. And going from being able to do that for, 15 minutes during one match to being able to do it for an entire 3-hour show was great. And even though I mean, it's a little more guided, it's like I have to actually call the match, which, sort of takes away from the 3-hour Mav show. But, but it was just a lot of fun. And, I sort of accidentally happened into that. I was bored one day. I was bored during a show, and, we'd already had our, I can't remember if I was managing Shima on that show or we had a tag match, but whatever happened, we were in Uniontown, and after our match was over, I basically looked at Shima and was like, "What do you want to do?" "Hey, I think I want to go do commentary." And at that time, Joe Dombrowski was the only commentator, so I just went down, and me and Shima went down, and we sat down next to him, and I just started doing commentary with him, knowing nothing about what I was doing. I mean, I obviously I knew all the moves, so I was able to call the match, but that's his job. So my job was to be color commentator, and I just basically started making fun of him, started making fun of the Gambino brothers, who we were feuding with at the time, and basically I turned making fun of Joe Dombrowski into like a 4-year career after that. It was great. I just kept coming back until I became the regular commentator. It was a lot of fun. It's always, I actually think I had really good chemistry with Joe. And then Sweeney, and then after Sweeney, Jay Worthington Farnsworth came in, and it was just always very natural, and I had a lot of fun. Just kind of, you go in there, you BS with friends of yours, and you tell the story, and you really just say whatever's on your mind. It's sort of like doing this show where you guys can sit there and say, we did it earlier, TNA is really stupid. Well, I could do that, and it's part of the show. It's great.
Awesome. We got another one from the chat room. I think he got this from your website, because I think I saw this on there too. Mad Mike asked, what was the wrestling session with New Jack like? Did he teach you 14 ways to use an NES as a foreign object?
New Jack is the let's see. I think when New Jack when New Jack came in to do a seminar for us, I'd maybe been training 6 months. I know I hadn't had a real match yet. And then, one day Doe is like, "Oh, this is going to be great. Next week, we're going to bring New Jack in to train you guys." And if you followed IWC, you'll know that, Jason Gorey, the Gambinos, me, Shima, we all started around the same time. And Doe announces that he's going to bring New Jack in, and they also, so not only did it's like, oh, and we're also going to bring back some of the other guys who want to wrestle with New Jack as well. And so everybody's like, great. And for that first day, I think we were training on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the time. So Tuesday, everybody's really excited about it. By Thursday, everyone's scared shitless, because you start thinking, wait a minute, New Jack? Wait, New Jack kills people.
Now, is this before or after the incident where he threw somebody off of the scaffolding and was trying to throw him out of the ring?
He's done that. He'd certainly thrown people off scaffolds before that.
Okay.
I mean, this was post ECW, so New Jack was, he was famous enough that everybody knew he was absolutely insane.
The mass transit incident.
Yeah, mass transit. This is well after mass transit.
Okay.
And you're
so you know that he has cut somebody,
right? And
legitimately,
and you're like, oh my god, this is like the that said, it was probably it might have been the most helpful 3 hours in my entire wrestling career, because from me, Shima, Gory, the peons, all the way up through Doe, who was our trainer, New Jack is not afraid to tell you if you fucked something up. And if you fuck something up, New Jack will make you do it over and over again for 2 hours until you get it right. And, I mean, I don't even think I had been there 6 months. I think I'd been there maybe 4 months. I don't remember exactly. And it was literally New Jack sat there with trainees through rookies through veterans, and we'd practice one hold for an hour until New Jack was satisfied, and then we'd move on to the next hold. And when New Jack yells at you and tells you, that's not a headlock, this is a headlock, I'm sorry, sir, I will do the headlock better.
Please don't shank me.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. And it was great. Yeah, New Jack was a lot of fun, but really, really scary.
WrestleFan says, what the weird thing is? He seems like a nice guy because he's always either high or drunk.
After we did the train, like I said, we probably trained for like 3 or 4 hours that night.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it was kind of cool because basically we sat around for another hour and a half with New Jack telling us ECW stories and road stories. And and that was really cool. I mean, that actually happens. If you ever get a chance to talk with any veteran wrestler who's worked for WWE, WCW, even newer feds like ROH or TNA, but anybody who's been around a long time, I mean, New Jack's probably wrestled for 15, 20 years at this point. They always have great stories. I mean, you don't want to sit there and say, hey, tell us about, you don't want to ask, but
it always comes out.
If they're willing to talk about things, it's really, really fascinating to hear about, anything from, I mean, sometimes they'll talk about favorite matches. Sometimes it might just be talking about some girl they thought was hot back in like 1987. Who knows? But it's really fascinating. Just kind of, and I imagine it's like that with any sport. Like if I'm a big football fan. I would love to sit down and just hear what Franco Harris had to say one day. But and sitting down with New Jack's a lot like that.
Awesome. Any highlights from your wrestling career? Like,
I did not die at any point. Jeez, I don't know. I mean, I basically said earlier that like I started wrestling because I wanted to see if I could do it. By the time I was older, I mean, I was like when we started, Shima was 16 and I was 29, and we were in the same training class, and it was. It was at that point I'd done karate for years. I had broken my ankle playing basketball. I'd broken my knee playing soccer. I was already pretty beat up, and like I said, I'd gone rafting and beat the hell out of myself. And I wanted to see could I survive this? If I think, let's see. If I remember correctly, when I started, our training class had 15 people, and 3 of us graduated.
Wow.
Me, Shima, and Marshall Gambino were the only ones who made it out of my class. And then there were, from the previous class, I think had 10 people, and Mickey Gambino and Jason Gorey were the only two that finished. So I mean, it's rough, and I basically just wanted to see, can I pull this off? So yeah, being able to do it at all was probably the highlight. I mean, there's a lot of fun. I mean, there's been matches that have been fun. Being able to meet probably my favorite person I ever got to really talk to was Dusty Rhodes, just because I was such a huge Dusty Rhodes fan when I was 8, and then getting to meet him and just hang out with him. I had dinner with him after a show when I was 30, and it's kind of after you get past the, oh my God, it's Dusty Rhodes. After you get past that, it's really cool to be able to hear those stories. So I don't know, in-ring highlights, I don't know. More just like the whole camaraderie of wrestling is probably the highlight for me.
Awesome. Well, of course, you're not known just for the wrestling. You're into the photography and of course the reason we're talking about tonight. Cosmic Hellcats is a big thing right now. Tell us about it and what's going on with that.
Well, Cosmic Hellcats, you have to rewind slightly. I'll tell you how that happened. Cosmic Hellcats is a comic book. I've been a comic book fan as long as I've been a wrestling fan. I started reading them when I was about 7. But so I'd always sort of wanted to do a comic book. I used to draw a lot when I was a kid. I used to write and always wanted to, but that sort of took a back burner. And I've been working as a photographer for several years. One thing about photography, especially kind of photography I do, which if you're not familiar with it, I take a lot of pictures of hot girls. That's my that is my primary expression of photography. It's not a bad job, by the way. So I was shopping one day for random stuff for photo shoots, and I think I was at Spencer's Gifts just post Halloween, and I see that they have on sale these shiny silver Catholic school mini skirts. So I text one of my models. I say, hey, check this out, and I send her a text pic, and like a minute and a half later, she texts me back. I wear size medium. And it's like, it's like, huh?
Might be onto something here.
And I thought, you know what? So I text 4 of my favorite models. You've got one of them on screen there now. That's Sarah Pronka. But Sarah Pronka, Maya Salas, Damsel Reed, and Chase. They're 4 girls I'd been working with for a while. I say, all right, what are your sizes real quick? And so I buy these 4 skirts. And so now I have 4 skirts, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with them. So I'm sitting around with Sarah one day, and I was like, "What are we going to do? I don't know. We'll do Space Girls, because we'll do a Space Girl shoot. Won't that be cool?" This is how photo shoots happen. You just sort of just brainstorm, and and really this was about, wouldn't it be really hot if these girls were wearing these skirts? and that's really what it came down to. And so we're like, okay, we'll do Space Girls. And then as I started working with it, I was like, well, what if it wasn't just photos? What if we also did a comic strip? And I asked the 4 girls, would you be cool about being in a comic strip? And they were like, I'd love to be in a comic strip. So I call Max, who's a guy I went to college with, a good friend of mine. And I say, hey, want to draw a comic strip with 4 of my girls in them? And Max says, will they model for me? And I was like, I'm sure they will. And he said, absolutely. So we talked about it. And it's like, well, how are we going to do this? We'll premiere it at Pittsburgh Comic-Con. And Max was like, all right, great. Well, when's that? And it's like, it's in 2 months. And he's like, oh, well, we can get a book done in 2 months. And I was like, yeah, only the problem is, it's in 2 months, but I need a month to get it printed. So really we have 1 month. So for 1 month, Max and I did not sleep. We stayed up, and we wrote, we colored, we drew, and I did photo shoots of each of the girls, and that went on for a month, and we put it together, and we premiered it at Pittsburgh Comic-Con 2008, and it was a big hit. If you ever need to sell anything ever, and you're at a convention, get Booth Babes. It is the best idea ever. Yeah. Because remember, this is
actually talking about. At one point, we were gonna have a Mayhem Show booth, and we had Booth Babes lined up.
Yeah, and it's the best idea ever. It's 2008. I'd been, and we premiered that comic book at that show meaning, on April, I think it was April 8th, which means on April 7th, nobody had ever heard of Cosmic Hellcats because it didn't exist. And then on April 8th, we've got hundreds of people just lined up around Comic-Con, basically because they want to take pictures with the girls in the sexy outfits. And we're like, sure, if you buy a book, and that's how that happened. So we did that for 3 days, and we had a lot of fun with it. And then while we're sitting there, me and Max are like, well, we've got to go somewhere from this. So we said, well, we own the website. We'll start doing a webcomic. So we started the webcomic that week, and we've been doing it for a little over 2 years now. And it's gone really well. And now, it's kind of cool when basically the same thing as wrestling. It's like, I just wonder if we can pull this off. And we've got people reading it from all over the world, which during the break we were talking about Google Analytics. Google Analytics is the coolest thing ever, because anytime somebody looks at my website, I can see what country they're from. And what
we
city.
Love it.
It's so awesome when the first when we first started, it was obviously a lot of people in Pittsburgh because that's where we're from. And then it would be, then we started branching out. California picked up really fast. New York picked up really the big places, and then we spread across the country, and then a little bit into Canada. And then one day, we're looking at Google Analytics, and I call Max. And I was like, "Did you notice that there's like 50 people who read the comic and this week in like Germany?" And he's like, "Yeah. Did you do something?" I'm like, "No." I don't know where and it was literally, and I don't even know if it was 50. It might have been like 10, but it was like, it wasn't just one guy. It was just all of a sudden there was this big spike in German traffic, and we're like, wow, we're big in Germany, like Hasselhoff.
It's weird because we found that when we started too, because we would be like, we were on one analytics before we got into the good tools, and they were like, yeah, we have a listener in Cairo and Shanghai.
Mm-hmm.
And our early tagline was that we're international superstars. That Lunchbox came up.
That's true. Well, I figured, if you say it enough, it'll happen. And
exactly.
Then it happens.
There you go. It was already happening technically, but then Vim from England, who actually visited us here and did the show. It's really cool that how far reaching all this is just by tossing it out there.
And the amazing thing was, there's no way, if I decided I wanted to do a comic book 10 years ago, in fact I did. I worked on strips before, just like little fanzines and stuff, and they never really went anywhere. They were fun. It was just as fun. I got to, but I actually, we're not a huge comic strip, but we do have an international following. We get mail from people all over the world, and it's like, wow, that's neat. How'd you find us exactly?
Yeah, that's exactly. But yeah, how did you hear about us? Yeah. Definitely. So and you mentioned the pledge drive.
Oh yeah, so that was Pittsburgh Comic-Con 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't go last year. We concentrated on the book for all of last year. So now it's 2010, and we're going back to Comic-Con. And it turns out, by the way, printing comic books is really, really expensive.
All that paper.
Yeah. Well, and the web's a little easier because the web, I know how much traffic I'm getting. I know if I need to buy better server space, but for the most part, it's a fixed rate. I can budget it for the entire year. The problem with Comic-Con is I really have no idea when, we were amazed when we went out there. If I could have gone to Comic-Con that first year and sold like 50 books, I would have been excited. I'm like, wow, 50 books, that's amazing. Because we had the girls, we did better than that. But I never really know. So I sort of just have to print like a bunch of stuff, and that's expensive. So, and if I don't sell all of it, I basically lose money. So what we're doing this year is we're going to print stuff up, for Comic-Con. But, in order to do a print run, I need to, print a certain number of copies basically in order to make it work. And so what we're doing is, we're pre-selling stuff on the Cosmic Hellcats website. There's this thing called Kickstarter. Which basically, if you look on the website, I've got a link where you can go and you can say, hey, I really like Cosmic Hellcats. I would like to pledge $10. For $10, you get the first issue of our comic book, which was from 2 years ago, plus either our year 1 or our year 2 comics. So basically, we made comics that are compilations of the first year of the webcomic and the second year of the webcomic, and we're going to be selling those this year. So for $10, you get either one of those plus an original copy of the one that that we started with, and we'll sign that. And for $30, you get. We're also selling the anthology editions, which are both comic books combined, both year 1 and year 2 combined, and we'll still throw in the old the first year book. And then we've also got for I think $50 we'll give you both anthologies. For $75 we start giving you original artwork I think original artwork comes at $200. At $75 and at $100 we give you posters and stuff like that, and we sign it, and we'll probably have the girls sign it. Since all the characters are based on real girls who appear in pinups in the magazines, we can try to have them sign those too. So that's what we're doing, and basically that covers shipping, and any profit I make from that I'm using to print all the rest of the books that I sell at Comic-Con. So right now we're trying to raise $1,200 for that, and I think we're at $850 or so right now, something like that. So we're almost there, and I just need to be able to do that by April 15th, 18th. I can't remember what the last day is.
It's 25 days to go from today.
Yeah, 25 days to go, and by the way, make sure if you want one, make sure you order. Make sure you make all your friends order, because if we don't reach $1,200, then none of that money happens. Anybody who's pledged, they just get all their money back, and none of them get books. So that's how it works. It's an all or nothing kind of thing.
A little bit pressure.
Yeah. And if you want to buy like 100 books so that I don't have to work for the next year, that's so much the better.
It's a really cool concept. It's interesting way. I definitely want to toss this over to my friends at Comic Book Pen. I think they'd be interested in what's going on with this. Wrong button right there. But yeah, go check it out. CosmicHellcats.com.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Here you go. This is for Sorg. This is the T-shirts that we also sell at Comic-Con. Here you go.
Awesome. Thanks.
And see if Lunchbox was in the studio, he could have one. And this is the copy of the first book that we did. We actually did we did a regular comic book, and then we did this prestige graphic novel version where we had pinups of the girls in lingerie and stuff like that in the first book. So we only made like 50 of these or something like that. So awesome. That's so we're not giving those away, but that's one of the ones I had left, so I figured I'd give you a copy of that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Mayhem, thank you. Any pictures of hot chicks, we definitely appreciate. Yeah. Midgets or not, that's awesome. So that's going to sit right there for the rest of the night. There you go. You have ad space on the show now.
Hey. That was the best part about buying the T-shirts. We actually sold a bunch of those. I might have to do that again this year. I hadn't really thought about it, but we bought T-shirts for the show, and people buy T-shirts, and it's the best gimmick in the world, because like, hey, they're advertising for you. Fools. They paid me $20 to wear my website on there around. It's great.
Yeah, it works for us. Yeah. My Mayhem wear button over there on WrestlingMayhemShow.com. There you go.
Are you actually pointing to the
the face thing coming up? So I'm pointing at my face, just thinking about what's coming up, but it's not there yet. So never mind. So awesome. Thanks a lot for coming. Thanks for the gifts. But
no problem.
All right. So check them out. Of course, CosmicHellcats.com, ChrisMaverick.com. Anything else you got going on? I know you got a lot.
Oh, geez. ChrisMaverick.com is where you find me, and when I remember to update the blog there, it has links to other stuff that I'm doing. I probably update Hellcats a lot more often. The other thing I work for is I work for a website called Zivity, where if you want to see more pictures of pretty girls...
How do you spell that?
Zivity.com, zivity.com/photographers/Chris Maverick. And if you go there, you can see random naked photo sets that I've done of lots of people.
Awesome.
But it's a pay site, so
now we've seen now we've talked to people that have mentioned you before in your work. Where is the Superman pic?
The Superman pic. Which the Superman pic? Oh, the Superman pic of me?
Yeah.
Geez. If you go to Flickr.com, you're gonna try to pull it up on screen?
Oh no, I don't know if I can.
Yeah, it's Flickr.com and then search for. Oh, geez, I probably if you search for Super Mav, I bet you that would work. I'm just guessing. I know.
You have graced the lips of many guests here on the Mayhem Show before this.
Oh yeah, see, I'm so afraid to even know. The Superman pick is from I started a cult. That's one of my other little side jobs. I started a cult 4 years ago.
Hell of a side job.
Yeah. I'm a cult leader. A guy I know, a guy I know in Alabama, named Stephen Poff. He started as his New Year's resolution. He decided he was going to take a self-portrait every day for a year. And that was his New Year's resolution. And sometime around August, I decided, that's a pretty cool idea. I'm going to try to do that too. And so it's like I'm a photographer. This will be really fun. And I sort of felt like if I'm going to do this, people might as well pay attention to me, and I'll probably get bored of looking at myself after like 2 weeks. So maybe if people are saying, haha, you failed, I want to keep going. So I sort of created this group on Flickr, and I figured if I can get 20 people doing this with me, just 20 random friends of mine doing this with me, then it will inspire me to keep going for the entire year. And so I created a Flickr group for it. And I got 20 people in a couple of days, which was like awesome. And now it's 4 years later and there's 18,000 people. and I never made a dime off of it because it didn't occur to me to like do this on my own site. So for those 18,000 people, Yahoo made a lot of money. But there are 18,000 members, and they take self-portraits every day, and I've been doing it for 4 years. And sometimes I'm really, really lame, and I just kind of go click and have a lame self-portrait.
I love there's one actually of you at ringside.
Yeah, I actually took one during a match. There's one I took during a match of it might be me and Bryce.
Oh, sorry.
Or maybe that was a separate picture, but I did that a couple times where
I just know there was maybe sexual harassment and somebody else actually in the ring.
yeah. Well, when I was managing sexual harassment, or maybe I was managing Babyface Fire still, but I think I was managing sexual harassment, and I actually actually took a camera to the ring and just started taking pictures with fans while I was while the match was going on. So I just have pictures of me holding the
here it is.
Camera.
Here it is.
Is this the picture you're talking about?
Yeah. I'm not sure if I can save out this to show everybody, but there it looks like there's sexual. Yeah. Well, I see Ray Rowe.
Yeah, and then that's probably Justin Idol in the screen.
Probably isn't. It doesn't let me save it. But yeah, there's looks like a Ray Rowe, maybe sexual harassment going on there.
Yeah, that was I just decided, hey, this will look awesome on MySpace. It's the best. It's the best seat in the house. A lot of people take pictures at wrestling shows, but nobody ever gets to take them right there from the ring. So I did that. Awesome. I never figured out how to take one while I was wrestling. I always wanted to do that. The closest I ever came was, I set up my video camera to tape me from the corner and then just, took screen grabs. But I always wanted to find some way to, I don't know if you remember, me and Shima used to do the thing where one of us would put the other guy in a hold, and then whoever wasn't doing it would spray the other person's hair. Like he used a triangle hold and I used a cross arm breaker, and then we'd fix our hair while we were doing it. I always wanted to do a thing where middle of the thing somebody tosses me a camera and I take a self-portrait.
I think he's the one, him or somebody else did one where he would put somebody in a hold, do his kind of pose on top of them, and actually call in the ringside photographer.
Shima started. Yeah. That was something else that we started doing. When I started originally, before when I was training, I was also IWC's photographer. And then when we debuted and I started managing Shima, I obviously couldn't do that anymore. So the first time we would he started doing it by himself after we broke up, but the first time that I remember doing it, there was a kid that took over photography after me named Rick, and And Shima went and did his pose, and normally I would spray his hair, and I just kind of looked over in the corner, and I didn't tell him or anything. I looked over in the corner, and I just got the idea, wouldn't it be awesome if I just did a photo shoot right now? So I grabbed the kid, and I just, like, literally hurled him in the ring, and Shima kind of got it right away. And it's like, so I jumped in the ring with him, and I just started posing with Shima and pointing to him, and luckily the kid figured it out. It's like, oh, okay, awesome. And he took pictures, and, you know, then I threw him back out of the ring, and then we just started doing that over and over again after that. So, and I believe he actually did it in Japan. I think Shima actually did that by himself in Japan too.
Nice.
That was me.
Well, real quick, I want to squeeze in an indie minute before we go to break. We got WrestleFan on the line. Are you there?
What up, sir?
Hey, what's going on in the indie world, real quick?
Well, there's only a little bit of indie news this week. We have one of the main things going around the internet. If you go to ROH Wrestling home for Ring of Honor, they redesigned their websites.
Finally, thank you. thank you, Ring of Honor.
Yeah, nice new design for the whole website. A lot of new added features. Nice cleaner look, I would say. For that, go to ROHWrestling.com.
It has that multi-story flash applet like every wrestling site has these days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they've gotten rid of that and added a couple new things. Makes it look a lot more cleaner, so definitely a plus for them. That's all Ring of Honor news I have, personally.
Other than that, I thought was interesting, they have not had TV, or they will not have TV for at least 2, maybe 3 weeks straight, until after their first online pay-per-view.
Yeah, I guess they're doing that to sort of match with their storylines or whatever, or make sure everything's relevant, I guess.
Really?
Well, now that I think about it, it's kind of...
I was pretty sure they were preempted because of March Madness.
Well, and that too. I knew that March Madness was also getting in the way.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a rough lead up to their first internet pay-per-view they're trying to put over there.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I believe that the online pay-per-view is on April 3rd. Mm-hmm. For more information on that, go to ROHWrestling.com. Now to move into Dragon Gate USA, the promotion run by Gabe Sapolsky. Big news for the company was over the weekend their main title, the Dream Gate Championship, was changed hands in Japan. Yamato, one of Dragon Gate's youngest stars, picked up the win and the title against the champion BB Hulk. And Yamato will now be defending those titles on their upcoming shows, including their shows WrestleMania weekend, March 26th and 27th in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, which speaking of that, did you see the news about them taking... they'll give $20 off to fans in exchange for a Ring of Honor tickets for one show during WrestleMania 26 weekend.
Well, there's not much you can say about that. That's, I don't know if they're going to get some competition going there with ROH. I know it's got definitely, something to look into now with Dragon Gate kind of emerging onto the scene with their pay-per-views and all that stuff.
It's interesting how lesser groups are just surrounded WrestleMania weekend. It's turned it into like a true like wrestling mecca. But you really have a choice. You're like, I can see John Cena and I can see who might be on in a few years.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So all right, anything else going on in the indie world?
And the final indie news I have came from Chikara Pro Wrestling. This past weekend they had shows in both Easton, Pennsylvania and Fairfield, Connecticut. During those shows was speaking of champions from the Dragon Gate show, they crowned new Campeones de Parejas in very interesting fashion. The new champions, Claudio Castagnoli and Aries of the BDK, the evil group in Chikara currently.
You're not even going to try to pronounce it, are you?
No, I'm not. Not. If I was German, I'd try, but I mean.
But obviously, what's your Cuban heritage?
No, I don't think that'll help me a lot.
No.
But in very interesting fashion, Claudio and Aries are the new Chikara tag team champions, if you will.
Awesome. think
that's the.
I think that
go ahead.
That broke on Twitter. I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw people congratulating Claudio.
Yeah, definitely. Claudio, with this win, Claudio is also the first ever two-time Chikara Tag Team Champion in Chikara's 8-year 8 years of them being around. He's the first ever two-time champion. And that's all the indie news I have for this week, sir.
All right, thanks. Lunchbox. What are we listening to?
Actually, I have
you
a
got
question
something?
for WrestleFan.
See, sir.
Are you still on the line?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, how's your mom?
God damn you.
Good, she's doing
Please tell me we're not starting this again.
Oh, it's we got to have some kind of running gag. I mean, so
we haven't had one of those for a while.
Yeah, So what are we listening to?
Well, like I said,
other than
WrestleFan's
WrestleFan's mom.
What's that?
Other than WrestleFan's mom.
Holy hell, Sorg.
I felt left out.
Well, like I said, all the music this week is coming from Theodora, the now defunct Pittsburgh band, wildly talented now defunct Pittsburgh band. But the good news is, all the members are off doing their own thing. The lead singer Stacy is in fact busy having a baby, so hopefully she'll be back into the music scene eventually. Hold on, let me bring up their MySpace here, so I can make sure I don't miss any. Don't miss anybody on the list of people here. Ryan Phipps and Ethan Harrington are two fantastic guys. They both are ministers at Discovery Christian Church, and you can actually find more of their stuff. Ryan at RyanPhipps.com, and also Twitter.com/RyanPhipps, and Ethan at EthanHarrington.com, and also Twitter.com/WUGWUMP. And
we'll
like I
have
said,
that we'll have all that on the site. Don't worry.
Exactly. That's right. And like I said, they work at Discovery Christian Church, at both at all the campuses here in Pennsylvania. There is also Dan Martin, who I'm actually not sure what he's up to lately. He was the only member of the group that I couldn't speak to before the show this week, and also Martin Lunn, who is, as far as I know, he's got another album in the works, but he does not have a website or anything like that. But we are all eagerly awaiting that, and you can listen once again. Check out the remnants of Theodora at myspace.com/THEE Adora ADORA. And the second song this week from said group is called Teta, and it's a bit more upbeat than the other one, and I hope you enjoy it. Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Pieces on the ground.
The Wrestling Mayhem Show recommends highspots.com for all of your wrestling needs. Whether you're a wrestling fan, worker, or promoter, looking for figures, DVDs, or equipment, High Spots has what you're looking for.
Hi, I'm Sorgatron from the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Whenever I want to buy my Lita and Edge figures so I can make them anatomically correct with some model paint and have my very own live sex celebration, I get them at highspots.com. But not the modeling paint.
Click the link for High Spots on WrestlingMayhemShow.com to support the show when you want to purchase anything wrestling related. High Spots has what you're looking for.
This is Superfly Jimmy Snooker and you're watching the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Please come on down and check it out and have fun.
DJ Lunchbox of the Wrestling Mayhem Show
Oh, I'm sorry, champ. I think I ate your chocolate squirrel.
at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
5% difference, Sorg.
What's up, guys? It's the Wrestling Mayhem Show 211. We are back. Mav is still here in the studio, right there on the couch. There's proof. And, of course, on the line, we still got the Lunchbox. We got the Mad Mike from the Bronx, so we got the WrestleFan from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The man from another time zone. And it is the roundtable for
from Texas.
There you go.
WrestleFan's mom does Dallas.
Yeah,
Why are you laughing?
No. The worst part is,
know.
didn't you told your mom about it?
Yeah.
Where's her acceptance for Fan of the Week
You
last
played
week?
last week's show for your mother. Why would you do
Why
that?
would you do that?
Because it was hilarious.
This is hilarious. I'm just glad we can still talk to you,
Mrs. WrestleFan.
I mean, we have to be
for
careful.
calling you a whore.
We have to be careful. You're 16. I'm not even sure you're supposed to be doing this.
Yeah, well, I'm doing it anyways.
Well,
Just like your mom.
Whoa, there it is.
See, I just want to be part of it.
See?
Now I feel like I'm part of the team. You know?
Oh.
now you got Mav in on it.
Hey.
You know, I mean, I don't know. Would you be interested in getting the WrestleFan's mom in a photo shoot?
I don't know.
Oh boy.
Could always audition.
Oh,
her.
sweet
Always
Jesus.
audition. We could have a casting couch with WrestleFan's mom.
Sorg, I thought you wanted to keep this to 20 minutes.
Well, I didn't say what.
Why are
20
you saying
minutes
your
was gonna
mom
be.
goes longer than 20 minutes? WrestleFan?
I like that one. That was good.
Holy shit.
Doobadoo.
We haven't had one like this for a while. Okay, let's get to it. There's a lot of stuff going on. We talked about it. Wow.
Sorg's drunk. Sorg's been drinking.
Sorg's on whiskey.
You saw what I was drinking earlier. It didn't look right, did it? It could have been gluten.
No, Sorg, we know what you were drinking earlier. It was juice from a D battery.
Oh.
Not the D batteries. Come on. Okay, first of all, well, let's start with my favorite picture for this week. That is not WrestleFan's mom. Let me get that out of the way right now.
It better be the picture that I've been posting in the chat room.
The
all night,
videos
Sorg.
you've been, the ones you've been posting have gotten lost on my Linux.
Is it the SoCal Val pictures I was posting?
I didn't see
No,
those.
not
I didn't
the
see
SoCal.
them. No, it's this picture right here because the story is Linda McMahon is catching heat because of Vince McMahon's yacht having a naughty name.
Oh, Lord.
And of course, she, as we talked about before, she is running for a U.S. Senate seat up there in Connecticut. Couldn't remember the name of the state.
Sorg, in the chat room right now is my favorite picture this week.
Oh,
God.
is this the WrestleLicious one?
Yes, it is.
All right, I'll see if I can get it in there.
Oh, sweet baby
Give me
Jesus.
some time here. Give me some time here.
Vampirella, no.
We'll get to that. Hold on, you gotta give me time here. I'm working on a story.
No. Legitimately, I watched last week's episode of WrestleLicious last night.
Mm-hmm.
WrestleLicious had the best women's wrestling of everything I've seen this week.
Really?
Legitimately. They had a 10-minute tag team match with Lacey Von Erich and Madison Rayne against Daphne and Lacey from the Indies. It was excellent.
That they filmed 6 months ago, of course, but still.
They filmed 6, but it was so, Lacey's gimmick is white magic.
Okay.
Madison actually sold pins to a voodoo doll. She sold it like it was actually happening to her in the ring. It broke up a submission hold. Like, Madison had Daphne in a submission hold, and Lacey stabbed the voodoo pin, and it caused Madison to break the hold.
Okay.
It was absolutely brilliant.
How old is WrestleFan? 16? Is it?
Hey, he got it right.
Well, but that means you don't remember Papa Shango.
No, I know who Papa Shango is.
Okay.
He remembers that from the fetus days.
Okay. Oh, the black ooze emanating from the warrior's head.
Oh, yeah.
Papa Shango did stuff like that all the time.
You think that's where they got that from for Fifth Element?
Yes!
We figured it out.
That's
After
such a
all
good
this
call,
time, we
Sword.
figured it out. And it's linked to wrestling. Who would have thunk it?
So wait, the giant orb that was going to crash into Earth was Charles Wright?
Papa Shango?
Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about Armageddon now?
No, Fifth Element.
No.
Wait a
Fifth
minute,
Element.
Did Ben Affleck wrestle Papa Shango? Did I miss that? Wait a minute.
I wish Ben Affleck wrestled Papa Shango.
If you're gonna make Armageddon references, you should talk about Deep Impact, Deep Impact is such a better movie. It's the exact same movie as Armageddon, except for in Deep Impact, the asteroid wins.
Speaking of Deep Impact, how is your mom, Russell fan?
I was just waiting for that one.
Awesome. Well, anyways,
what the fuck was Justin Credible's name when he was in WWE?
Which time?
Aldo Montoya.
Aldo Montoya. He was also PJ.
PJ Walker.
Yeah, the plumber gimmick.
No, that was TL Hopper.
That's TL Hopper. You're right. PJ Walker was.
All right, to appease you guys, finally, here's the picture from WrestleLicious.
JJ Walker.
Ew, Sorg, don't do it.
JJ Walker.
I don't even know if we can show this on Ustream.
I don't think we can.
Because there's a.
Oh.
I mean, there's. Wow.
It's a fine line.
Reason, I keep thinking of Wrestle Fans Mom.
And Daphne is trying to bite the ankle of Madison Rayne. Because she's a vampire.
Anyways, if we could go back to the original story, and then awesome picture again. Apparently Vince's yacht is named Sexy Bitch.
Nice.
And that's all I had. All the momentum was killed by everything else.
Speaking of giant floating seaworthy sexy bitches, Wrestle Fan.
Wow.
She's doing very well. Thank you for asking.
And she's gonna tune in this week.
No problem. You ride her right across the Atlantic.
Fine line, sir. Fine line.
It is a fine line, WrestleFan. Your mother is a fine line.
Oh, whoa. All right, another news. Roddy Piper.
Ooh.
I saw him last weekend.
You saw him last weekend. Hey, real quick, how was that show in Poughkeepsie?
It was awesome. It was awesome. It's Poughkeepsie, Sorg. It's not Poughkeepsie. Poughkeepsie, right? Poughkeepsie. It's Native American, Sorg. Show some goddamn respect.
Okay.
Right. So the show I was at this past week, I got to meet the OG beautiful people.
Okay,
and
cool.
take pictures of both of them.
Awesome.
As we heard earlier, I got Mr. Anderson to leave a voicemail for the Mayhem show.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that was literally him?
That was him. I'm not joking.
Nobody's going to believe that.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that was legitimately him, and it was really funny. Because I talked to Angelina Love after that, and she said, "Did you just get him to leave the Anderson voicemail on your phone?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "That's pretty awesome."
Holy shit!
So even Angelina Love approves.
Awesome.
But I got to see Anderson versus Booker T.
Okay.
Which was a fun match. I have a video of the Spinneroonie on my Facebook. And this indie show got to book Angelina Love pins Velvet Sky before TNA has even tried it yet.
That's funny.
Because we got to build up to that feud, right?
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be Angelina versus Velvet 1-on-1.
Mm-hmm.
Then Velvet brought out honorary beautiful person for the night, Roxy.
I'm sorry, you broke up there. Who was that?
Roxy.
Okay. Who was recently let go?
Oh, Roxy. I also want
Roxy
her to
was
be my special lady friend.
And let's see. Oh, and I found out some interesting facts about the Mid-Hudson Civic Center because that was where the show took place, and WWE used to shoot there all the time. Apparently, that's where Roddy Piper came up with Piper's Pit.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, actually, he was being interviewed in a local newspaper, and I think he talked about that.
It was probably the Poughkeepsie Journal. I wouldn't be surprised because he cut a whole Piper's Pit promo about it, and they even had an old WWE official, referee from like back in the 80s.
Nice.
And apparently, the Mid-Hudson Civics era was when the place where they first brought out Miss Elizabeth, the first place where Bruno and David Sammartino tag teamed together, and where Andre the Giant received his haircut.
Nice.
It was on the regular circuit of the TV tapings, I think.
Oh yeah, like back in the 90s, I used to go all the time.
Nice.
We even got Raw after WrestleMania once.
Yeah, I do have one of the items I had on Piper. There's his picture. Was from that newspaper article where he's talking about inducting Wendy Richter this weekend. Says she's a fine lady. And also the stuff that got me excited.
Fine lady.
Don't even. Don't even.
Roddy Piper is working on a sitcom. The pilot just picked the writers, and they're going to be doing it in June. And it's from the same production company that did The Real World. And they're also redoing They Live.
Ooh, that's awesome.
They Live is being remade.
Is he going to be in it again? I don't want a remake. I want a sequel so that he can be there again.
Yeah.
The tagline should be all out of bubblegum.
I mean, he's got to at least make an appearance. You know, he'll make a cameo or something. Well, they'll probably it'd be cool if they throw like Ryan Reynolds or something in there, you know?
Ryan Reynolds has enough to do, Sorg.
That is true. He's been kind of all over the place lately.
He's every fucking comic book character.
Yeah.
Him and Chris Evans should just be the Avengers, like all of them.
Awesome.
The anti-Chris Evans rat.
And speaking of lovely ladies, DJ
like
Lunch.
Chris Evans?
What's that?
Chris Evans is a lovely lady, or are you talking about his mom?
Wait, why is Chris Evans a lovely lady?
No, I'm talking about the one, the only, the Awesome Kong.
Aww.
And unfortunately, I can't put Lunchbox on the full screen.
Why not?
Well, there you are.
Actually,
there you are.
she's our sweet tweet of the week, Sorg.
She is our sweet tweet. Now, what is the sweet tweet?
Just simply put, Mick Foley is my hero.
Good enough. Good enough. Oh, because he knocked out Bubba the Love Sponge.
He broke Bubba the Love Sponge's nose.
That was for Awesome Kong. So Lunchbox.
Real quick, speaking of Twitter, fact: my boss currently has Ric Flair as his avatar.
Nice.
No lie, straight up and down, it is Ric Flair.
Nice. Woo! But Awesome Kong officially released, confirmed by her website, Dixie Carter's Twitter, I think, and TNAWrestling.com. So, DJ Lunchbox, finally, officially, you can invite without any strings attached Awesome Kong to the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
That's right. Bring me up, Sorg. Bring me up here. Let's do this properly.
Okay.
Yeah. Am I up?
You're up. You're good. There's a delay.
In the video.
You're good.
Speaking of being up.
Awesome Kong. My sweet darling Awesome Kong. The rumors have proved to be true, and you have been released from your TNA contract. The greatest of all news. Because you can move on to bigger and better things. And by bigger and better things, I mean DJ Lunchbox. And I also mean the Wrestling Mayhem Show, the biggest and best of them all. Alright, the greatest podcast anywhere on the internet. But here's something you gotta understand. I gotta pitch you a very special offer here, Awesome Kong, okay? All you have to do is come on the Wrestling Mayhem Show and be interviewed by us. Simple interview, take as long as you want. We can do it over the phone, whatever you like, okay? But then, Kong, oh Kong, my darling, Kong, then it's me and you. We'll hit the town like you. It will be amazing. It'll be amazing. We'll go into Pittsburgh. We'll catch a show. We'll go out to a fine restaurant. After that, maybe over to the Hilton. Maybe some chocolate-covered strawberries. Maybe hot tub. Maybe a little bubbly. Who knows? The possibilities where the evening could go. But all you have to do is come on the Wrestling Mayhem Show And my dear, sweet, beautiful, lovely, gorgeous flower, your life will change forever. Papa Lunchbox promises. Join us here on the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Email us at goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com. It'll come right to my email, and then the fun begins, my dear.
There you have it.
That was beautiful. I'd write it.
See,
I kind of want to write it.
You got Bav's vote.
If I were a 400-pound, 8-foot black woman, I would be all over you. I swear.
Well, good, that's exactly what I'm shooting for. So
there you go.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus!
How do I follow that up? Oh, I know how. RVD didn't know he wasn't on the pay-per-view.
Oh, silly stoners!
Oh, come on!
Apparently, he took a plane in. And he claims that the paper he got earlier in the week, he didn't realize that it wasn't until a date later. So 24 hours early for his TNA taping. It could happen to anybody. I mean, you know, he was going to Tampa. It's not like he was going to Buffalo or something and got stuck there with nothing to do.
Yeah. I mean, why would TNA want to promote one of their huge new surprise stars that they just brought on to their pay-per-view, highlighting the X Division? Why would they want to do that?
Yeah. Also absent Jeff Hardy.
Of course, because
also absent a lot of people.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, did anyone see the sign on Impact that said, "Where is Samoa Joe"?
No,
Someone cares.
No, I didn't. Yeah, but I'm glad somebody is looking out for him because apparently TNA stopped looking.
I told one of my friends I want to see Kurt Angle drinking a carton of milk with Samoa Joe's picture on it.
You know, I think we're going to get America's Most Wanted on this. If you have any information on the whereabouts for a reward of no money, maybe we'll give you a T-shirt or something. Please send it
Why would James Storm and Chris Harris look for him?
Please send it to goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com, and we want to find our Samoan again. Holy shit!
If I was
just
him,
look for the fattest ninjas you've ever seen, and they're the ones who kill him.
That's right.
I think I just had a revelation. The guy driving the car must have been Steam Machine.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! Steam Machine's finally done it. He's gone off the deep end.
Oh, no. He went all the way down to Florida to kidnap the Samoa
God.
Joe.
I bet that's what happened to Umaga.
Oh no!
Oh,
No! I think we're okay because Samoa Joe has not had a match with Ken Anderson yet. So I think we're
okay. We gotta turn this around. Something happier. WrestleMania is coming.
WrestleMania.
You stay away from my cat.
WrestleMania is coming up this weekend. There's going to be a party at the Sorg domicile.
Edge
wins everything.
Edge wins everything. He shows up in Money in the Bank. He's the mysterious 10th man.
Spear.
11th.
Edge is your new Divas champion.
11th.
He's going to be Miss WrestleMania.
Where's
Spear.
falsies?
What?
Spear.
Spear.
Fake boobs, Sorg. They're fake boobs. Falsies?
Okay.
Spear.
I got you.
Skeet.
No.
Spear.
No.
Spear.
Spear. Awesome Kong.
Speaking of spearing.
How is your mom, WrestleFan?
There we go.
Sorg, I thought you were better than that.
No, not this week. Not this week.
WrestleFan, none of us are better than that.
No.
Dude,
No.
Awesome Kong is...
But and
no,
I'm
I
also
want to know what he was going to say.
She's selling her skirt.
What?
What?
Oh, sweet Jesus.
She's eBaying. I will drop this into the chat. She's eBaying her skirt from a photo shoot. That is awesome.
Donut button.
Are you bidding?
Donut button.
Jacket.
What are you up to so far, Lunchbox?
Yes.
No, it has been sold. I'm sorry, it has been sold.
You missed your opportunity.
Has been sold. That blows. I would have fucking bought that.
Is it the
You'd
pink
wear it
dress?
around the house.
Is it the pink dress she was
Well,
wearing
you
on
know,
Twitter?
SoCal Val sells her wares all the time on eBay.
I know. You know what? Let me go on a little rant here, okay?
Okay.
Oh.
What the
What
kind
did
of
I-
people out there seriously look at a photo shoot from a model, not necessarily a wrestling model, but yeah, we'll go with wrestling models because this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. What kind of sick motherfucker sees a photo shoot and says, I gotta own those panties?
You would be.
What is the matter with you? I mean, seriously, are you that fucking hard up and fucking obsessed with a person that you see a picture of them wearing an outfit and you want to own it yourself? What are you gonna do? Hang it on the wall? Dress your real doll in it? What the fuck are you gonna do? Better yet, I don't want to know what the fuck you're gonna do because you're a sick fuck. Okay?
Well, in
What
all
does it
the
matter
fairness,
with you
it's only the
people?
TNA knockouts that are doing that.
No, it's not WrestleFan. WWE Auction does it all the time.
Dirty
panties. You know, how much do you think we could get for that kid's basketball outfit that Chess Flexor had Doc Ramsey wear that one time?
I mean, but
pay us to burn that.
That's true. That's true.
LB, going off that a little bit, it takes two to tango.
Somebody's selling it.
People wouldn't buy it if the women were selling it online.
Look, if I could wear a pair of underwear once and then resell them for $1,500, I would do it every day.
Absolutely.
That's a good point.
Okay, I know people who have done it. Hey, if you can make the money, I mean, how much does a pair of underwear cost you? If you can make the money, you can make $300 a pop. I mean, $1,500 is kind of a lot, but if you can make $300 for selling your used underwear, what do you care what they get used for afterwards?
I need to look into this business.
Oh,
That's it. Sorg, we need to start a Mayhem Show eBay account.
It's for charity.
It's for
sell it
Mayhem
for charity, and I am going to sell my dirty drawers.
Is Charity like a stripper who works at Blush?
Yes.
Nice.
Charity is the Mayhem
I'm
Show.
going to say something that nobody's ever said on a podcast before, all right? My cock smells wonderful, all right? And we're going to sell that shit on eBay.
You're right. I don't think anybody's ever said that before in the history of humanity.
I haven't even heard that on the G-Spod or on Smodcast, so I think you're okay.
Yeah. I mean...
Well, look, that is a testimonial. That is a testimonial.
Wait, from who?
From who?
From WrestleFan's mom.
Wait, I was gonna say, did I just give a testimonial about DJ Lunchbox?
No, we need to validate
'Cause I
this.
will.
We need some female to call in the Mayhem hotline.
No.
He never said it was a female.
WrestleFan's mom.
He never actually said that.
And let us know.
Sorg, we need to have Dixie Carter call in.
There you go.
Dixie would know more than anyone.
Oh, she would know.
I'm telling you, WrestleFan's mom, she stopped right in the middle of it and said, cock smells wonderful. Lavender.
WrestleFan, just offer to do laundry
berries
one
and
week.
Pomegranates.
Did you say it smells like pomegranates?
Pomegranate and my semen tastes like chicken, okay? It is a wonderful experience. I could sell things at a restaurant.
You should. Hey.
Guys.
Lunchbox is lunchbox.
Guys, WrestleMania is coming up. My God, help.
Sorg,
yeah.
I have a treat for the Mayhemmers. Something that's going to be coming up later in the week.
Okay.
I purchased the first issue of WWE Heroes from my local comic book store, and I will be reviewing it online.
Oh,
on
side note,
WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
If anybody saw my Twitter this past weekend, I did find Pile Driver, the music video, for $1 at the exchange on VHS, as well as
awesome.
DDP Feel the Bang, which I have captured and digitized. I will be watching them and reviewing on the site in the near future.
Have you guys talked about DDP's new job on your show before?
Well, the yoga thing?
Oh no, not just the yoga thing. He's on a TV show right now.
Like this moment.
I don't know about this moment, but I caught this like when channel flipping. Do you know who Carney Wilson is from Wilson Phillips? She's the fat chick from the old group Wilson Phillips, and she loses all this weight and then she gains it back and she does it over and over again.
That doesn't sound healthy.
She has a show on, I don't know, some random very, very high numbered cable channel. One of those channels that you only see when you're flipping through channels. She has a reality show that's all about, her losing weight. And, and it's her, and she argues. It's like every reality show of some washed up celebrity, and they argue, and she argues with her husband. You see her kid, blah 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 blah, and then you see her train with her personal trainer, Diamond Dallas Page.
No shit.
That's awesome.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't even know the name of the show, but it's like it's the Carney Wilson show with DDP, and like he's even in he apparently is a regular because he's in the credits. Once he was there, I had to I had to sit there and watch it, and she's like on the whole Positively Page workout plan. It's awesome.
Wow.
Man, wrestlers will do anything nowadays.
Speaking of old wrestling things,
what?
I was going through some old boxes, and I found
no, where you were going.
Never mind.
Speaking of old boxes.
Continue.
I found a couple of very interesting products here. One is a WWF magazine that I've actually been saving for you, Sorg.
Oh.
It is the one with ICP on the cover.
Nice!
And it is from December 1998.
They got the dreads and everything, don't they?
No, well, the one who's not fat does.
Got it.
I don't rightly remember the names. There's a badass Billy Gunn poster. Yeah.
You're gonna sell for some money on eBay.
The focus is on Edge, and this was when Edge was a vampire, and Gangrel was showing up, and Christian was showing up, but he was only known as the mysterious blonde figure.
That back when we thought we knew him? We thought we knew him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's he coming from the crowd? What's going on?
Oh, big article about Al Snow.
Okay.
And you know how they would always do the pay-per-view recaps?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was WWF Breakdown in your house. Here's just a few of the matches that took place, and this is the heyday. The opening match. Now think about this. The opening match was Edge versus Owen Hart.
Wow.
How crazy!
That's on Edge's DVD.
What's that?
That's on Edge's DVD, actually.
Is it the one where Christian shows up and costs him the thing?
Yes, that is on Edge's DVD. I remember he talked about that a little bit.
Falls Count Anywhere match. Vader versus Bradshaw.
That sold some tickets.
Refer to him as JBL, please. It makes it sound funnier.
I know. Yeah. Versus. Okay, X-Pac and the New Age Outlaws versus Jeff Jarrett and Southern Justice.
TNA, 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 TNA.
Wait, who was Southern Justice?
That's the Godwins.
Did you just say who is Southern Justice?
Yeah, I don't. I'm
Mark Canterbury and Dennis Knight.
The Godwins.
The Godwins.
That's when the Godwins tried to be a Southern mafia.
It's that, and that's Naked Midian in that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is Naked Midian.
Not Midian. Naked Midian.
Naked Midian.
That's what we know him as.
Naked Midian with his fanny pack.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of the main events, it was a triple threat steel cage match. The Rock versus Mankind versus Ken Shamrock.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
IC title? Was that IC title?
I don't know if it was. It doesn't say that it was for any. No.
It was just because.
Just
to see.
No, dude, I remember that match. The Rock did double people's elbow inside the cage, and he tried to toss his elbow pad out, but he got caught in the cage wall.
Ken Shamrock changed wrestling. Nobody remembers that. Ken Shamrock, you might not like him, but Ken Shamrock had one thing that changed wrestling forever. Before Ken Shamrock, no one ever tapped out.
That's true.
He brought that to the WWF at the time, and then that went on to be throughout all of wrestling. It used to be that if you wanted to submit, you had to say, I quit, and cry to the referee, and that's how you got out of a match. Ken Shamrock brought tapping out to wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good point.
And Ken Shamrock was also the first TNA champion.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy Snuka was the first ECW champion, I believe.
Yeah, but Jimmy Snuka's awesome.
I thought it was Terry Funk.
Depends on what you consider the ECW belt.
Yeah,
that's
Eastern
true.
Championship Wrestling.
You could say it was.
You could say it was the franchise.
Douglas.
Yeah, it depends on when you consider it. Same thing with TNA. It depends on what you consider the TNA belt and what you consider the NWA TNA belt.
Well,
okay, so
he was the first world champion in TNA.
Okay, so the first TNA champion was Kurt Angle.
Technically, yeah.
If that's any better.
He just came out with a different belt one week. It was weird. But all right, guys, real quick, we're running out of time. Real quick picks for.
Gotta throw one last thing.
Ah, man.
One of my favorite parts of this whole magazine, aside from the fact that Vince Russo still had an article in it.
The bite?
You mean Vic Venom?
The bite.
Vic Venom.
No. He had given up Vic Venom, and he was just Vince Russo.
Oh,
It
wow.
was still the bite. He's so European by European champion D'Lo Brown.
What the hell?
I know. Next week, I will show off. Back in the day when WWF was WWF without the scrawly red thing, they used to have a thing. It was a grid of 9 trading cards that you could they were perforated and you can tear them apart. Guess who saved them?
Awesome.
Next week, I'll show you a couple of Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the funeral coach, which is just a van painted with Undertaker shit, and my personal favorite, see if we can get this on here, Techno Team 2000.
Yes, they were awesome.
A little fuzzy, but we got them.
Techno Team 2000 was the only people more awesome than Techno Team 2000 were the Road Warriors 2000. or I don't know if they were the Road Warriors 2000 or if they were LOD 2000, but they were actually exactly the LOD. It was just Hawk and Animal in different outfits.
And they had Sunny, right?
Yeah, they had Sunny, and they had motorcycle helmets that they took off. They didn't wrestle on them. They just wore motorcycle helmets to the ring and then took them off, and then they were just the LOD again.
My favorite things about these is that I have one page that are just Sunny cards, and I have another one that's all Nation of Domination. One card is titled "Get to Steppin'." Fantastic. Anyway,
is there a Wolfie D?
I'm sorry. I sidetracked.
It's all right. Real quick, WrestleMania picks. Let's go through them. Chris Jericho and Edge. LB?
Edge.
Mav?
Edge. Spear.
Mike?
Oh.
Mike?
We lost WrestleFan and also Mad Mike.
Oh, shit. Okay, that makes this quicker. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels.
Undertaker.
Taker.
I'm going to have to go with, I'll throw a curveball. Let's say Shawn breaks it.
Don't believe it for a second.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be happy with it, but I'm going. Why not? I'm playing devil's advocate. We're going with Shawn Michaels. Batista and Cena.
Cena.
I think it's Cena, yeah.
Cena. Feel good story of the year.
Money in the Bank. I'm not even going to name all these people.
Actually, I don't even remember who. I know they did tournament, but I don't remember who won them. So
Christian, Ziggler, Kane, Benjamin, Swagger, MVP, Matt Hardy, Evan Bourne, McIntyre, and Kofi. I'm going Kofi.
I think Kofi's going to win it. I'd like to see Christian win it, and Evan Bourne is likely to injure himself terribly.
Yes.
I can't even guess. Part of me would go with Kofi, except that well, I guess you have a year to use it, but you think they're going to use. You think he's going to use it right away. You said, I don't know. Kofi's a strong pick. Since you picked Kofi, I'll say Drew McIntyre.
And I'm sorry, I went to a different tab, and now it takes a second.
Oh no!
Bret Hart and Vince. Really? Come on, Bret. How crazy!
Marking out like a
how
tiny child.
Crazy is that going to be? And do any Hart family get involved?
Yeah, do any Hart family get involved?
And who else would possibly get involved?
Bret Hart.
I mean, you could do. I guess. No, Sean's busy. I think Bret wins. I don't know that anybody's going to get involved unless maybe a nice take Vince down and just let everybody slap him once. But I don't think you're going to have a lot of run-ins or anything like that. And it's not like Owens around anymore, and nobody else except for the people who are there now. The nieces and nephews. I guess you could bring Anvil back. Nobody else really had a big WWE run other than Owen and Anvil and Bulldog. So I don't think you're going to bring in Bruce just to because people will be like, who, what?
But they were in there and they fought Jerry Lawler and the Knights and
and
the clowns.
And that was Doink. One. Yeah, it was the Knights and that went over real well. So I think you're going to see Brett. I don't think we waited 15 years to watch Vince screw Brett again.
This isn't going to be a Backlash or whatever the next show is match to solve it.
Well, they have been saying. I mean, Brett is talking on his everywhere about he's advertising things after WrestleMania.
Yeah, but I
still. I mean, he's going to stick with the company for a little bit longer. So
I think he's It's WrestleMania, and again, I didn't wait. Speaking as a fan, I did not wait 15 years to watch Vince McMahon beat up Bret Hart at WrestleMania. I waited 15 years. There is very specific sorts of things that I want to see.
Yeah, exactly. Triple H and Sheamus. I need to ask you, LB.
I don't know. I think it's going to be. Oh my God! The fucking WrestleMania site is so loud.
I know, it's crazy.
I think it's going to be Triple H, but I think he's going to try and make Sheamus look really fucking good.
I think they make Sheamus they still need to kind of prove him since he didn't pin for that title he got. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be part of his kind of restructuring.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I can't see, if Sheamus beats Triple H at WrestleMania, that's a hell of a victory. But I think you're going to get a good match. I think I got to go with Hunter on this one.
It is a weird one to me. The triple threat with Orton, Rhodes, and DiBiase. I think Orton gets it since he's kind of getting the babyface thing going on.
I think Orton is going to get it, but I mean, that doesn't.
Or does it
it's
break
weird.
down?
It doesn't make sense for any of them to actually get it.
Yeah. It's they got to be doing something interesting with this match.
I'm gonna go with Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. I'm on the DiBiase train. So if I got to pick one, other than the weirdness,
Orton's. It's possible that Orton gets it and he beats the shit out of the other two and kind of reins them in.
But we've kind of seen that already.
That's why Orton doesn't need to win. I think Cody Rhodes wins, and then you're going to see a quick breakdown between Rhodes and DiBiase.
That needs to happen. Definitely needs to happen.
And I think Cody's gonna get the cheap victory. He probably won't pin Randy. I think he'll pin. I think he'll go out and he'll pin DiBiase.
There you go. And then finally, Mysterio and Punk, which I got a call this week from my mother-in-law that CM Punk is kind of disturbing her with his religious ramblings. Though it's working.
It's awesome.
She's like, I don't like the stuff. I mean, and she's fairly open-minded, yet still religious, for watching all the wrestling she does. And it was just interesting. I'm having this conversation. So, and I finally did get to see that SmackDown yesterday. And yeah, he's really laying it on, and I think it's going to be interesting. I think Mysterio wins it in the long run. I can't see him going to their cult.
I'm going with Mysterio as well.
It's going to be a great match. Like they say, it's a potential show stealer.
I'm going to go with Punk because we've basically picked the faces in every single match up until this point.
Have we? I picked DiBiase.
I picked Rhodes. DiBiase, yeah.
That's the thing, though. DiBiase, Rhodes, and I mean, they're all
it's true.
Basically heels.
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre.
I like Mad Mike's idea that Dominic shows up and joins the Straight Edge Society.
Man, he's grown up. You can't put him on a pole in a ladder match anymore. So, all right. With that, let's forego the what you learned this week, since that's pretty much filled it in. I think for time. And
I learned WrestleFan's mom is a classy lady.
Well, there you go. Then we do have. Oh, fine, whatever. Go ahead.
No.
I learned the flexibility of the ladies on WrestleLicious thanks to those pictures that were sent. Mav, what'd you learn?
Well, I learned a lot about Awesome Kong and WrestleFan's mom, apparently.
And no, I don't hate Mad Mike and WrestleFan just because Skype dropped you and my tabs aren't working. I don't know. Is there anything in the chat room I'm missing there, LB? Booth babes sell books from Juggalo John.
Oh, that's true.
As we learned from the show.
Yeah.
Oh, and Mad Mike learned it's Don Papuga's birthday.
Don Papuga. We didn't get much into the Papuga Appreciation Night.
Let's sing her a song.
Okay.
You're older than you've ever been, and now you're... Wait, shit. That's They Might Be Giants, and there's probably royalties to that.
How many times did we sing Best Around?
Good point. You're older than you've ever been, and now you're even older, and now you're even older, and now you're even older. You're older than you've ever been, and now you're even older, and now you're older still. Time is marching on.
Go check her out at donpapuga.com and wish her a happy birthday.
Time is still marching on.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. This has been your Wrestling Mayhem Show. Please check us out at, of course, WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Check us out on Twitter at Mayhem Show. You can give us a call on the hotline at 412-206-WMS0. And, of course, that email, midget porn and all, to goodtimes at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. I want to thank my guest this week, Chris Maverick, for coming on. It was a great time. Go help him with his book. Go to CosmicHellcats.com.
Get free stuff. Signed by pretty girls.
Signed by pretty girls. You know, request to sell their panties to you.
Hey, you know, if someone out there is into it, you know, I know people.
There you go. There you go. Go check ChrisMaverick.com, of course, for is multiple of talents you can check out. Well, that's it. Go check out everything. WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Check out the Mayhem Wear. Check out the iPhone app, please. We got plenty of blogs come up, plenty of reviews, plenty of crazy stuff going on. And check us out next week for Wrestling Mayhem Show 212. I'm Sorg.
DJ Lunchbox.
Chris Maverick.
And we'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Please subscribe to our iTunes streams and blog at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Email us at goodtimes@WrestlingMayhemShow.com or call us with any comments at 412-206-WMS0. We love to hear from our fans, and who knows, maybe you'll make it onto the show. The Wrestling Mayhem Show was recorded live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in front of a live internet audience, and is a production of Sorgatron Media. You can be part of the show as we record live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on TalkShoe.com and Ustream.tv.